Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss the optimal auction design for selling wireless spectrum rights on behalf of FCC. So the primary goal here is to maximize revenue from these sales. And we already know that the bidders, like those large telecommunication companies, they are risk neutral, meaning they think it's indifferent to risk when making an investment decision. So our task is to select the most suitable auction type. First prize, second prize, English or Dutch. Particularly like when all bidders value spectrum rights identically but have differing estimates of their true values. So we're gonna make the decision based on that. So before we jump into our discussion of which one is the best, let's just briefly talk about the definition of each auction types. So the first price auction involves sealed bids, meaning the highest bid winning, and the winner pays their bid. They pay the highest bid, and this could lead to strategic underbidding. The second price auction also involves sealed bid. Well, the only difference between first prize and second prize is that the winner pays for the second highest bid, which potentially could lead to a more honest bidding, but possibly lower revenue. The third type is English auction, which is probably everyone really familiar with this auction type, where we see like all the arts being auctioned, that's English. So this is an open ascending price auction, which is widely used and understood. And it allows for dynamic bidding where participants can adjust their bids based on others' actions. This format could drive up the prices as bidders react to the competition. So yeah. And lastly, the Dutch auction is a descending price auction, like as opposed to like English. So it is efficient in time, but possibly like time limiting the achievement of highest possible bid. So given that all bidders are risk neutral and having various estimate of the spectrum values, I believe that the English auction seems to be the most appropriate. According to John McMillan, so the English auction actually reduced the force of what's called the winner's curse. So the high bidder is the one who most overestimates the value of the item for sale, and therefore may find like it's too late that it has paid more than the license is worth. However, with billions of dollars, the bidders might anticipate the winner's curse when they decide their bids. A bidding firm that understands the winner's curse will try to avoid falling victim to it by bidding cautiously, discounting its own estimate of the license value. So the discount is large if the estimate can range widely around the true value. So if bidders bid to avoid the winner's curve, then anything that improves the winner's information is to the government's advantage. Well, that will induce the bidder to be less cautious, which eventually will lead to higher revenue. So I think from that perspective, the government can increase its revenue by publicizing any available information that affects the license assessed value, meaning they can provide assurance about future regulatory development or announcing how much new spectrum can be allocated to telecommunication in the future. So if we use the same logic of winner's curse avoidance, an open auction will probably yield more revenue than the sealed bid auction. Well, this is according to Milgrom and Weber study. So in a first price sealed bid auction, the price is based solely on the winner's only initial value estimate. And in an open auction, on the contrary, each bidder gets some indirect information about the other bidders' estimates from their bid. So the bidders are more confident and on average bid higher. So in conclusion, the English auction's dynamic and transparent nature makes it the ideal choice for selling wireless spectrum rights in this scenario. It aligns well with the FCC's goal of maximizing revenue while accommodating the risk neutral nature and valuing differences of the participating bidders. And that's it for today's discussion. So this is the reference page. And I thank you for listening and paying attention to this presentation.